Hi, this video is going to be about using the law of cosines, where it asks you to find each measurement indicated. If necessary, round your final answer to the nearest tenth. And so we can see that we have the different versions of the law of cosines provided to us. And so it says find AB. And so again, with mathematicians and their naming system, finding AB is like finding side little c, because we have angle C, and so across from that is side little c. We have angle A, and so across from that is little a, and with angle B, across from that is little b. And so because we're being asked to find little c, we're going to use the equation with c squared, because our unknowns are going to either be the side or the angle of the two pairs, or of the side angle pair that we are provided. And so we have angle C, we don't know little c, and so we're going to use the equation c squared equals a squared plus b squared minus 2ab times the cosine of c. And so if we substitute in, we have c squared, which is unknown, so I'm going to call that x, because that's represented as x in our diagram. And then that's equal to a squared plus b squared. Well, a is 9 and b is 11, so we have 9 squared plus 11 squared minus 2ab times the cosine of c. So 2a was 9, b was 11, and the cosine of c, well, angle C is 28 degrees, so times the cosine of 28 degrees. So now, in terms of simplifying, x is almost entirely by itself. It's just that we have a square, which we can take the square root at the end. So going through and simplifying, we have x squared equals, and so order of operations using PEMDAS, so parentheses exponents, multiply, divide, add, and subtract, we can simplify our exponents. So 9 squared is 81, and 11 squared is 121. So that's simplifying our exponents. We now have to move on to multiplication. And so we have this expression, negative 2 times 9 times 11 times the cosine of 28. And so because that's all multiplication, we can use our calculator to multiply that out. Negative 2 times 9 times 11 times the cosine of 28. And that is equivalent to negative 174.8236. So again, because this is not our final answer, we're going to round out to 4 decimal places. So negative 174.8236. So including that in our work, we have minus 174.8236. And so now that we've simplified our exponents and our multiplying, there's no division, so we can go on to adding and subtracting. And so if we combine our like terms, 81, 121 minus 174.8236, if we enter that into our calculator, 81 plus 121 minus 174.8236, that is equivalent to 27.1764. So adding that to our notes, x squared is equal to 27.1764. And so now that x squared is equal to one number, we can take the square root of both sides to undo the square. And so x equals, Using our calculator, if we take the square root of 27.1764, that is equivalent to, because this will be our final answer, rounding to the nearest tenth, 5.2. So in this scenario, our side little c, or the length of AB, is equivalent to 5.2 units long. Looking at the next example, using the law of cosines, we're being asked to find the measure of angle A. And so the measure of angle A is unknown. And so again, with law of sines and law of cosines, we're looking at angle side pairs. And so angle A is across from side little a. And so in our equation, again, the unknown goes at the beginning or the end. And so in this case, angle A is unknown. And so side A, 15, is going to go out front. So we have 15 squared equals B squared. So little b is across from angle B. So 12 squared plus C squared, which is across from angle C. So 13 squared minus 2 times B is 12, C is 13, times the cosine of angle A, which we'll call that x, just to stay consistent with our diagram. So times the cosine of x. So now x, our variable, is in the equation with some other constants being multiplied to that. And so going through and simplifying, we can simplify our exponents. And so 15 squared is 225. 12 squared is 144. 13 squared is 169. And then subtracting, we have to multiply negative 2 times 12 times 13. And so using our calculator, negative 2 times 12 times 13 is equivalent to negative 312. So adding to our notes, 144 plus 169, negative 2 times 12 times 13, we saw was negative 312, so minus 312 cosine of x. So now we have 225 equals 144 plus 169 minus 312 cosine x. Because this 312 has a cosine of x attached to it, we can only combine the 144 and the 169. So adding those two values together, we end up with 313 minus 312 cosine of x. And so if we relate this to the equation, 225 equals 313 minus 312 x, what we would end up doing is we'd end up finding ourselves subtracting 313 and then dividing by negative 312. So we can do that same idea in this equation. So we're going to subtract 313 from both sides. And so that cancels out. 225 minus 313 is negative 88. And that's equal to negative 312 times the cosine of x. Now, in order to undo multiplication, like we saw over here, we're going to divide by negative 312. And so if we do that using our calculator, negative 88 divided by negative 312, That's equivalent to, again, because this is not our final answer, 0.2821 if we round to 4 decimal places. So negative 88 divided by negative 312, again, 0.2821. And that's equal to the cosine of x. Now, as we've seen in previous examples, if we are looking for an angle measure, we have to use the inverse. And so to undo the cosine, we can take the cosine inverse of both sides to cancel that out. And so x is equal to the cosine inverse of 0.2821. And so if we use our calculator to evaluate that, the cosine inverse of 0.2821 is equivalent to 73.6 degrees. So writing that down, 73.6 degrees for our final answer. Thank you for listening.